Okay, so today I would like to talk about subscription-based apps and specifically on iOS and Mac, because I think these subscription-based apps are growing. There will be more and more apps every day that will go over to have a subscription instead of a one-time buy. And I don't like that because it will be so expensive for the user, the consumer, in the long end because they stack up, if you know what I mean. The more apps you have in a subscription, the more expensive it will be. So, for example, one of my favorite apps, a Markdown text editor, Ulysses. I mean, that app was perfect before they went subscription based. It has all the features I needed. It had everything I wanted and looked so good. But now I can't use that app anymore because I don't want to pay for a subscription for that app. I mean, as you can see here, about $40 a year for the Ulysses text editor. I mean, that is way too much because how will they give me more for that money? I mean, more features, more stuff that is good and so on when the app is already as good. I mean, there is not anything they can add to it really. So I think this is bad. Yes, I know that developers need to earn money so they can support their family and have food on the table and so on. I mean, of course, it's not so good to only have a one-time buy for an app because that means that the developer need to find more and more buyers, more and more users to have more money, of course. I mean, all the updates will be free and so on, and you only pay once. I mean, that is not so good for a developer. I know that, I can understand that. But I think the developers need to find something different, some other way to earn money on. I mean, all apps can't be subscription based because that will not be possible. I mean, we as a consumer can't use all apps as a subscription base. It will be too much money. I mean, I already have a Netflix account, I already have a VPN service, and I have a Spotify, and I have a few other apps. I mean, I can't buy any more apps and subscriptions in this way. It's not possible for me. And here is another app that I own before it went subscription based, and that is Text Expander. Text Expander is an awesome app that makes it possible to store snippets that you can expand by just typing a few letters, a short command and so on. And it will expand the text that you have added, and it's very advanced. You can use the clipboard together with the text and so on. And it's great for a blogger like me to have Text Expander. And that app was also perfect before they went subscription based. And I mean, now you should pay around $4 a month or so. I mean, that is too much for me. I already had that app and now I can't use that app. I can't sync it with all my other devices anymore because that app is not updated anymore, and it looks ugly on the iPhone 10, for example. I mean, it doesn't have the full screen resolution and all that. And to get all the new features and the new updated look and all that, you need to pay a subscription. I think that's the wrong way. I mean, some apps like OmniFocus and Things, they had before subscription based, these two also, but before that they released one huge update from time to time, for example from version 1 to version 2 and to version 3 and so on. And every time they released that version, you had to pay for that version. I think that's the way to go. And all the updates between those huge updates were free for the consumer, the user. I think that's the way to go, because then you can decide if you want to pay more to have the new big version, the new updated version. So I think that's the way to go, not having all the great apps as a subscription. That won't work in the long run. And here is another app as an example, Castro Podcast. It's an awesome podcast app with many cool features, and it has everything you need really. But here you need to have a subscription to have all the great features. If you don't pay for these subscriptions, then you don't have all the cool features, only just a normal audio player really. You can't do anything with it. But if you pay, you have all the features. And if all developers and all apps go over to have a subscription instead of a one-time payment, then this will fail big time, because as a user, as a consumer, we can't pay for all these apps. It's impossible really, really impossible. So I think in the long run we will see a lot of people that will complain over these new subscription-based apps because we can't pay for all of them. It's impossible. I mean, this is no good. For example, here is a user on Reddit that pay all this, as you can see, all this. I mean, this is too much in the long run. Too much. It's impossible to pay this and buy more apps and more subscription all the time. That is too much, I think. And the problem with this is that Apple also promotes subscription-based apps in the App Store. They like that developers use the subscription-based system for paying for apps. They love that. And I think this is bad. This is not the way to go. I think we need a change, really. I think we need that. Please, can you comment on this, what you think in the comments? Please do that, because I want to know what you think about subscription-based apps and so on. If you agree with me or if you not agree with me, and if you're a developer, if you can explain to me why you need to have a subscription service instead of a one payment and so on. So please do that in the comments. Okay, bye.